So let's take this. Thank you.
I'm Doyle Moss with Mossback Guides and Outfitters. Been guiding and outfitting for over 25 years. I've always had a passion for big game, mule deer, elk, to see what those animals are going to do, if he's a typical or non-typical. Got a drop tine, cheater, great drive for elk and deer. Love it. We started Mossback Guides and Outfitters in the year 2000. Throughout the company, from the year 2000, Utah was just starting to produce some really giant bulls. They did a great conservation program or conservation permits on public lands, and that was our big push. We wanted to aggressively go after these conservation permits, raise some money. Mossback each year raises over $1 million, our clients do. And our goal was to kill the biggest animals of all the species in Utah. And we aggressively went after it from the year 2000 and never looked back. We've probably taken close to 30 bulls over 400 inches the company has now. I don't know how many, numerous bucks, 220 to 260 type deer. So we just love that. And it doesn't matter what we're hunting, whether we're hunting goats or sheep or buffalo. We're just, if there's a big animal out there, we're after it. Well, with technology, you have trail cameras, obviously the best spotting scopes, best binoculars on the market, range finders, all of these things, the best rifles out there. Take, for instance, Gunwerks. I met Aaron and Mike years back and, listened to them, talked about their guns and then watched their TV shows and understood how important it is, that last piece of equipment we have. We might have the best optics and the best eyes and, the hardest working guides in the market. But if it gets down to it, we don't have the final equipment, like the best rifle on the market, we're in trouble. We have been far more successful on some, shots that are 400 to 600 yards that we would never have been without Gunwerks. For everybody that wants to continue to follow Mossback, obviously check us out on our Facebook page and mossback.com. So if you're looking for a guided hunt or a self-guided hunt, it doesn't matter to us. Give us a call and we're going to help you. If you want to hunt Colorado or New Mexico or Utah, we will help you decide. We'll put you in the right areas where you're the best odds to draw. And if you get drawn, we'll help you out. If you'd like a fully guided hunt, or if you want to buy a commissioner's tag, conservation tag, landowner tags, we deal with all that in all the states. So give us a call and we'd sure help you out.
All right, I'm Kalan Lemon from kind of the central southern part of the state of Utah here. Guide for a living. It's what I kind of grew up doing. It's what my dad's done forever. Grew up in his footsteps. Kind of got hooked up with Doyle and Mossback here about 14 years ago now. Been helping him ever since. Do a lot of bear and lion hunting. Probably one of my favorite places to hunt on the entire earth is down there on the Henry Mountains. Spend a lot of time down there scouting. You know, get to spend a lot of time down there just looking around, enjoying ourselves, and there's enough big deer around that it keeps you up at night and keeps you coming back every week. So we're down on the Henrys and we're you know, hunting around one morning, run into this nice family. He's been down there for a couple of days, kind of struggling, hadn't found a whole lot of deer. Talked to him a little bit and just kind of felt like we probably ought to help him out a bit. So we had a few deer we were seeing that morning. One was bedded down, really nice big typical buck. Rode over there with them, just met these people that morning, rode over there with them, showed them this deer in the spot and scope, and I mean, they just, you know, absolutely loved it. We snuck up on the deer, made a good stalk up on there, you know, had her whole family there with, you know, young kids and her husband, and it was a pretty neat deal. Got up in there and we got to setting up on this deer, and became pretty obvious. Lady hadn't done a whole lot of shooting in her life. You know, super nice lady, just hadn't had a whole lot of practice behind a rifle. So we spent a lot of time getting her set up on the deer. The deer was still out there, just past 400 yards. I mean, it was still a pretty good poke, and you know, got her set up on the deer, and I mean, it was just hold on to the rifle here, pull that trigger, and it happened just that easy. You just killed the deer.
Oh my hell, I can't even.
Well, what do you think of him?
I like him. He's weird. I never thought I would ever shoot a deer. My son put me in for the Henrys, and when he told me I drew out, it was like, are you out of your mind?
What do you think?
You like it?
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
job.
Excellent. Thank
Good
you.
job.
Oh, thank you for the help.
Yeah.
Beautiful buck, huh?
Yeah, he's good, huh?
That is awesome. I heard your shot was like 300 yards, huh?
Yes.
That's great.
We spend enough time out in the mountain, you know, looking at these animals, watching these deer and that you become pretty connected with it. I mean, it's one of them things. I don't just do this because, you know, because it's what pays the bills and I make a living at it. I do it because I love it. You know, these animals to me, I mean, I guess you'd call us a conservationist more than, you know, more than a hunter. It's just, it means a lot to even see these animals, especially be able to take some of these animals, take these older age class animals out of the herd, be able to walk up to them and put your hands on them. It's a pretty neat feeling. You know, it's something only a hunter knows about and only a hunter gets to experience. So, you know, for us to find another person on the mountain that was willing to let us help them, you know, achieve that and be a part of that, it was pretty neat to experience. Okay, so this year, a good friend of mine, old Mike Kinney, hunted with Mike quite a bit. Mike and his wife Sue Ann, just great people. Mike got the tag for the Henrys down there, so I was pretty excited to get down there and go hunt with him. He's just a really good friend. Killed some great deer in his life and just kind of had a pretty high expectation of what he wanted to kill down there. Thus the reason we acquired the Henry Mountains tag, and was pretty optimistic going into this hunt that we could turn up some of these deer that were, you know, as big as what Mike was hoping to take. season's finally here. We had to take off hiking about 3 hours before daylight with flashlights, headlamps, you know, hiking down through some big rough canyons and slot canyons where we, it took some doing, you know, I mean, almost having to rope up to get up through some of this stuff. And man, Mike just trooped right through it. Got up to these big high peaks where the deer was, you know, seen the night before. We kind of watched him, we bedded him down. Just as the sun was coming up, it wasn't 5 minutes into daylight. We had that buck picked out, you know, was setting on him, and you know, it was within range. We could actually probably could have took a shot. Set down on the deer and we was able to watch the deer. You know, he was pretty good ways out there. And we ranged the buck, dialed him in, let Mike sit on him for a little while, just made sure everything was comfortable and just stuff was going to work out for us. Deer started feeding up the hill real slowly and had a couple other little bucks with him, and we had a camera rolling behind us. And as soon as that deer stopped up on the hillside, turned broadside, it was all over from there.
Okay, Mike, right there on that hillside, we get that little draw going up through that little swell, that big pile of rocks on just the right-hand side of it. See him just
I got him. I got him now. I got him.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let him get a little more broadside. Oh, he's perfect right there. Okay.
Got him. Got him. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again, Mike. He's humped up hard. He's better put another name. Better put another name. He's moving to the left just a little bit. He's kind of stopped right there by that other buck now. See him stopped right there, kind of stretched out.
Yeah, I got him.
Up. Put another in him. Think you hit him again. Probably better do another one. Oh, that one killed him for sure, Mike. He is done. He is done.
Hey! Woo! The gun is got a empty in it.
Mike, that is a smoking deer, my friend.
There was a lot of time and hours spent on finding this deer, so when Mike finally was able to connect on that buck and put him on the ground, I mean, it was just one of them things. You just stood up and shouted for joy, and just hugging each other to the point where we about wrestled all the way down to the bottom of the canyon. Got over there to it, and I mean, this buck was all we'd hoped he'd be. Just giant width, heavy, super old, mature deer, as good as he was ever gonna get. And I mean, just a neat deer. It's, he's got a lot of points on him, and everything's just pretty symmetrical. I mean, he splits on both sides on just about everything around there, giant inside spread width, and just one of them bucks that Mike had been hoping for his entire life. Definitely got to credit this whole thing to Reed spending the past 3 months watching this deer. A lot of his own time up here, him and Dexton coming up, 200 miles from home to come and check trail cameras for Mike, and sent Mike some trail camera pictures of him early, and just kind of, we've all known that this is the #1 deer for us to kill. Got up in here and got it done. Thank goodness. He's eluded a lot of other hunters, been around for quite a while. Had Cameron out on a really good point. Cameron got eyes on him this morning. Reed and Dexton were on another point. We started our venture up here a couple hours before daylight.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Mike walked his butt off. We got some big ledgy canyons where he had to follow the creek up, and had 20-foot sheer walls on both sides we had to go through, and kind of got ledged in for a while. Popped out on the right spot, and just not too long after, spotters had him picked up, and we was in the right position. Mike made a couple of great shots on him. And
I love hunting big bull elk in the rut. September's a phenomenal time. Leaves are changing, but there's nothing else like big mule deer in the rut, or even just big mule deer in the velvet. And that brings us to our next hunter, Robert K. Robert K's hunted with us before. He'd had some of these conservation tags with us before, and he wanted to step it up a notch. He wanted to go to Arizona, hunt for some truly, giant mule deer, the biggest there is in the world.
one of our good friends, Tory Brock, just knows that country better than anybody on the face of the earth. Spends his whole life out there, and that place is world renowned for holding some of the biggest deer in the world.
And one day, Tori sent me these trail camera pictures of this giant non-typical. We talked Robert into buying this tag. We knew the buck was a little young, but we knew that, you know, he was still a true trophy and that Robert should be, you know, hunting this deer.
Opening morning rolled around to that hunt and we was spread out. Doyle was up on a different mountain with Robert, checking for another deer. Tori and myself went down into this area, really low deer density numbers. I mean, just a tough place to hunt. Fairly open country, but just very, very few deer. So there was, you know, it was pretty hard to turn anything up.
Really, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was almost 100 degrees, and we just started tracking. Sent KALEN, Skip, and Tori out on some points, and Robert and I, we just started tracking.
There'd been another little buck, had some neat little extras on him that'd been with this deer in the last trail camera pictures we got. I set up on the hill, and about 10 minutes after, I had that other buck he was with bedded down. Knew the buck had to have been close, so I mean, I got excited. I mean, this is a big deer we're looking for here.
And we were out in the middle of nowhere, and I knew the direction KALEN was supposed to be on point, but I didn't know where he was because, I mean, he was a long ways from anywhere. And I just said, well, I'm gonna pop up on the saddle and see if I can see KALEN, you know, glass above on a point. As I approached the saddle, I looked across at about 450 yards, KALEN was sitting on the point, and about 470 yards to my left was the giant buck bedded.
Doyle and Robert kind of made a big loop around. I had them come up around the backside of the hill where I just walked out from.
We was right there, super close. We just made a quick stalk over there to KALEN and set up for the shot, and then the weight was on for the buck to stand up. Squeeze. Hit him. Come on, get another one in. It's going over there where the other one was. He's down.
Is he down?
No, he's back up. He's
right there by the
Oh, I got him. He's down.
Woo!
Yes! Did I tell you, Doyle? Did I tell you? Come on, let's go look at the 450 yards. I'm not sick this time either. Did you see that shot? Oh my God, that's a good buck. My best friend.
I am just about in tears, brother.
Oh,
Hey! Yes, sir.
Big boy down.
oh, baby. That is a buck.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, when he stood up.
Oh my God. Oh.
Oh, Doyle. Oh, Doyle.
How's that for Mule? Mule Freaks, Volume 2, man. Robert K.
Look at that
Put out a
thing.
giant.
Oh,
Tori
my.
Brock found this buck. Been actually trying to get trail camera pics of it all summer. What an absolute giant. Okay, Robert, tell me what happened.
Well, we were walking for miles and miles in the Arizona desert, and we're almost on top of this buck, and KALEN had it spotted, so we run over on the other ridge, waited for him to stand up, 450-yard shot between two boulders. And it was the biggest set of horns I've ever looked at through a scope in my entire life. What a buck.
One shot with the Gunwerks, huh? The new rifle they just built for you?
Gunwerks LR1000. I tell you what, that thing shoots.
Night Force scopes.
Yep, just crank it to 450 and touch it off. And what a deer.
Once an animal is down, you know, in this position, you know that it's a very special animal. You know, we waited for Skip and Tori to arrive and KALEN, and as we walked up to that animal and got closer and closer and the adrenaline's going, I mean, you're pumped up, you're jacked up. I mean, you know that you are walking up to one of the most impressive animals of all time, of anybody's lifetime. And, you know, even it was the largest deer killed in the entire state of Arizona that year. You know, you're just excited and you just cannot wait. I mean, you just crave to hold that bone in your hand and to count the points and, you know, look at him. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, to see Robert, how excited he was, and KALEN and Tori Skip, I mean, and there's nothing like it in the world. And to share that with your friends, and, you know, it's, you know, these clients are clients, but they're friends. I mean, we love hunting together. We love the challenge to hunt the greatest animals there is in the world.
Hunting apparel for long-range pursuit provided by Sitka and Kenetrek Boots of Montana. License applications made through Cabela's Tags. Brought to you by Gunwerks, G7 Optics, Night Force, Hornady, and Caldwell Shooting Supplies.